Hello again and welcome back to Terraria. Okay, first off, it's been 2 days since I've put up a video, and there's reasons for that. Well, first day, I just wasn't feeling very well. I tried playing a little bit, but I couldn't sit down very long, I got dizzy, and I was just feeling sick to my stomach like the entire time. So I didn't do, like, after about 30 or so minutes, I pretty much was like, you know what, I'm gonna go back to bed. And then I slept like the rest of the day. Yesterday, or the second day, I did a little bit of recording, not much, probably about an hour's worth. But there was some weird audio problem. I was skipping. And of course, I'm using amateur equipment. As I've said before, since this isn't my job, this is more of a hobby, I'm not using stuff like Premiere or Premium or, like, what is it, Sony Vega Pro or anything like that. I'm using just basic XSplit, and pretty much what I record, I don't edit, I just upload it. It's one of the reasons why I have problems, and the reason I'm doing this is because if I can get an audience, I can actually go for and do stuff, but as long as this is a hobby, I'm not going to be throwing money I don't have at it. If it gets to the point where it's a job, we can talk. But, anyway, all's changed. Feeling much better than I was the other day. Probably just some stupid bug that was going through. And, well, yeah, everything is basically the same. Terraria is the same. It's not new. But I've gotten some new gear. For example, I've gotten a Spectre ham axe, and a Spectre's pickaxe. Spectre gear is picked up from Ectoplasm. Ectoplasm's basically souls from the dungeon. Yeah, once you kill something in the dungeon, mostly skeletons, but there's a chance it could be other things, you can get it. Like, every once in a while they'll drop a ghost and you have to kick the ghost's ass, and yeah. After you beat up the ghost, it's pretty straightforward. You pick up its ectoplasm the same as you would any other soul, and you can build them. They're actually very powerful. It's one of the reasons why I skipped getting the titanium pickaxe, was because I was looking online. The Spectre's pickaxe is even better than the jungle pickaxe. Here, let me show you. I actually got a couple of bars of this as well. Chlorophyte and Shroomite. Where's my guide? There he is. Okay. If you notice, crafting this is chlorophyte. It's supposed to be one of the strongest out there. The chlorophyte pickaxe is 190%. Oh shit! 1 second. He's going to kill all my bosses, or all my people. This is going to hurt. I'm just going to go ahead and set my point there, pick up my bar, try to get out of here before he kills off all my people. I do apologize about this. I probably should have saw the marker. Okay, I'm gonna try something with him. It worked on his old form. I don't know if the patch fixed it or not, so we'll find out in a second. Okay. No, it didn't. The old way, you would beat him, like the old easy way to beat him, if you don't have proper gear, was to go through and I'm trying to think of how to say it. You would go through and build a, like you'd have your house on the ground. You'd go up near the top of the world, and near the top of the world you would summon him, and then you would recall yourself back to your spawn point. He would follow, but some of his arms wouldn't. So, give me a chance to try to fight him off. I kind of apologize about this. This is progression, so booyah progression. I was going to show you me fighting the Eater of Worlds. I actually have 2 summoning points up for the... not the Eater of Worlds, the Destroyer. I actually have 2 of his summons inside of my inventory, so I was going to show you how to beat him. Or how I beat him yesterday, but this works. As you've noticed, I picked up this magnetic ball. It's Zealous, which means it has increased critical. I haven't got to the point where I'm starting to reforge items yet. I don't really like reforging items I'm going to replace. So I'm actually about where I think I'm going to start reforging soon, but I just wasn't there with yet. Or I just wasn't there with the Molten Armor or the Titanium or anything like that. So let me just go through and try to beat him. The Spectre armor I'm wearing, if you've noticed these white orbs that are coming at me that heal me, that's because I'm wearing Spectre's armor. Every time I do magic damage, I get healed by 10% of that magical damage. Doesn't sound like a lot, but it does add up quickly. Sorry, Nursey, I really need this. What I just picked up is called Clairvoyance. It's a magical buff. It gives me 20 extra mana, which I really don't need, but it also increases my magic regain, reduces the amount of magic they cost, and it increases my magic damage. As you can see, I'm actually about to beat one of his hands already. Yes. I kind of like this Zealous ball, or the magnetic ball, compared to some of the other items, because if you remember, I was using the Venom wand, or Venom staff, whichever one it was, and what it would allow me to do was shoot bolts of venomous poison at them. Was it venom or was it poison? Actually, those are 2 separate debuffs in this game, so I need to not confuse them. But it'll allow me to poison people, I believe. And it would go through them and all that. So it was kind of a great shotgun-like magic spell. This one's kind of like, well, it puts out a ball of energy, and as you can see, that ball of energy rapid fires. Another weapon I've also picked up was my shotgun. It's nice, as you can tell. And I've picked up this Shroom Spear. The Shroom Spear is really nice because, as you can see, it leaves behind this trail of mushrooms. If I can get him to walk into it. If he walks into those trails of mushrooms, he'll take damage from the mushrooms. So, it's nice there. But anyway, let's go back to killing him. Oh, I've also picked up light discs. They're a melee style weapon, or they're melee damage, but you throw them, kind of like the chakrams from the jungle. As you can see, since I'm kind of in magic armor, the main reason I have them is because they're throwable and they're light. Like, they're throwable lights, as far as I'm concerned. I accidentally just threw my rope. So, we just beat Skeletron Prime. He was the hardest boss in the game at the last time, or before the previous patch. There are now harder bosses, but that is still an accomplishment. Anyway, the mushroom spear that I was talking about a second ago, I picked up from him pretty cheap. Actually, only 30 gold for a 60 damage weapon. He also has a Hamush, which is a hammer that is strong enough to destroy demon altars. He sells this auto hammer, which is down here, which is how you turn chlorophyte into shroomite. And he sells one of his children. For beating a boss, you get the Steampunker. The Steampunker sells these 2 items, the Solidifier, or the Blendomatic and the Solidifier. The Solidifier can be used to turn jails into a solid object, and the Blendomatic, as far as I can tell, pretty much only makes gravel. So, like, you can run on it faster. She also sells the steampunk gear, which is what I'm wearing, and she sells a jetpack, which I luckily was able to get. There are also these teleporters. I actually should be able to show you how a teleporter works in a second. But before I do, as I was showing y'all, as you can see, the chlorophyll's only 190. Mine's already 200. And if I use the heroic, the hollowed axe is 200. So it's the same, but the Spectre has +3 range. So I can hit further with the Spectre than I can with the hollowed. The only difference is the hollowed's also it's a pickaxe axe, which means it's also an axe. So yeah. The Shroomite spear is stronger than the heroic items, so I'm going to make hollowed armor, but only because I have an armor fetish. Well, it's not really a fetish, it's just I like to have armors on display. So let's see how much of that I can make. I have 42. Yeah, I don't have enough to make it yet, but I might in a few minutes. So also I picked up this beam sword. Beam sword shoots a sword. You can hear after I shoot the sword, I get a mana recharge, like my mana's full, but it doesn't take away from my mana to cast it. Yeah, that was a horrible way to say that. It doesn't take from my mana to cast it, so it's just kind of a recharging noise as well. Let's see, do I still have those? I'm gonna go ahead and pick up some new iron skins, some new thorns, another bowl of soup, and I'm gonna put all that up. Okay. Now, as you saw, I just whipped Skeletron Prime's ass, so beating the Destroyer shouldn't be much of a problem. And actually, I can't do it right now because it's daytime, which sucks. Apparently, there are Souls of Flight there. I'm not exactly sure why. They might have come from Skeletron. They might have been something else. I don't really know. Sorry. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is put this stuff here, or actually I'm gonna talk to her. Why am I talking to her? I'm gonna set my spawn location. That's what I'm wanting to do. I'm like, there are 3 things I can do here. I can't remember which one I was coming here to do. Oh, another thing. I completely forgot that it was in my inventory. This is a life fruit. As you notice, some of my health hearts have turned gold, and my health is now above 140. So, the life fruit will permanently increase your maximum life by 5%. Or 5%, by 5. If you notice, this gold one, or this red one, turns gold. It gives me 5 more health. I can turn each of these gold to a maximum of 500 health. As you see, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 100. So, a maximum of 500 health. You can get those in the jungle. They aren't exactly hard. You can farm them. It's not difficult at all. So, I just haven't gotten to the point where I've picked them all up yet. Now, something I was going to do. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and put that there. So we're gonna go ahead and put that there. Okay. I actually made this previously to test it, so yeah, it works. I know it works. It just takes me a minute to get it set up because, well, I'm an idiot. I'm gonna take a switch, put it here. Now, what this does is I can stand here, and activate a switch, and it will teleport me to the other one. They do have a limited range, so you will have to have like a system set up, but they're not exactly expensive. Actually, it's more expensive to buy the wiring to connect them. Yeah. Even though one sad thing to note, now that I've beaten Skeletron Prime, I'm no longer going to get mechanical skulls as a mob drop, or as a boss drop. Oh, Soul of Fright. Let's see what I can do with those. Yeah, Soul of Frights come from Skeletron Prime. I thought it said Skull of Flight. I'm an idiot. Give me a moment to get here. There we go. Crafting with Souls of Fright. I can make a flamethrower, or, most importantly, I can make Neptune's shell. Neptune's shell. I'm guessing basically a good explanation for that would be their wings for water. You turn into a mer, so you can breathe underwater and you can move underwater without any problem. They're very powerful to have, and I'll probably be making one soon, but I haven't actually done a lot of farming for it, so yeah, I'm physically not capable of it at the moment. As you can see, my glowshroom farm is bigger. I'm gonna put these in here for now. Yeah. Give me a moment to get over to where the dungeon is, and I'll show you something a little bit, or something I've done. I want to say it's cool, but that's up to you. Also, as you notice, my monster arena is complete. And actually, I'll just show y'all. My dragon's roost is grown. I need to put like a pillar here to get up to it, like right after the jungle. But my dragon's roost has grown. It's nothing significant. I've only found one sky island, so it's not that good yet. But yeah. The reason why I call mine a dragon's roost instead of like a sky bridge is because I put mine up. Like, mine finding a sky bridge is just a pleasant side effect. But I put mine high enough specifically to spawn and farm the wyverns. So I find mine more as a, like, yeah, it is a sky bridge, but it's more focused on fighting the dragons than, well, getting the sky, like getting to sky islands. It's one of those arguable differences. Doesn't really matter, but yeah. Okay, as you can see, I'm coming through the desert. A lot of it's changed. Like, a lot of it's changed because of corruption and Hollow, but like I haven't actually done much, so the world itself is about the same. Forgot how far this was. Sadly enough, I'm in a large world, so traversing it is an ordeal. So forgive me a little bit while I get there and try to fix things. Okay, here we go. This is the dungeon. You remember the dungeon? Now, let me just get rid of that. This is what's different. I've built up a small base. I still haven't gotten this loot out of here. I don't know why. But I've built up a small base. I'm not going to save in it this time, but I put a fireplace in here and some honey. If you remember from the honey before, the honey gives me a life regeneration buff. Come on, Sly. Okay, don't jump. Okay, yeah, he jumped. Yeah. So I've been able to come down here and do some farming. As you can see, or you will see, I've died a lot. Shadow beams, which come from necromancers. Hopefully I'll get to show you a necromancer and a paladin. See, as you can see, I've been killed by a lot of shadow beams. Necromancers are annoying, but more than that, I've been killed by... Oh, that was a symbol. This is Bonely. Bonely is... Well, he's a bone Jetly. As you can see here, shadow beam, paladins, shadow beams. As you get farther down, I get killed more by paladins than shadow beams. This is a necromancer. If you hit him, he moves. So, I've found that the most valuable weapon against him is the shotgun, because it multi-hits him. Yeah, it hits him multiple times. And as you can see, I pretty much just got wrecked by him. And was like almost only him. Like there was that other guy, but for the most part the damage was coming from him. Give me a second to clear out this room a bit. The problem with necromancers is if I use a spell like this one, every time he gets hit, he will he'll come back. This right here is a spirit, dungeon spirit. They're what drops the ectoplasm. Yeah. But as I was saying, with necromancers, every time you hit him, he teleports. I find the best way to deal with him is the shotgun, because the shotgun can hit him multiple times. This is good for a couple of reasons. One, you kill him faster when you hit him more. That's kind of just obvious. Another good thing about it is when you hit him multiple times, sometimes he'll teleport multiple times. There have been a couple of times where I've had a shotgun leveled at his face, took a shot, and he teleports back into having a shotgun leveled at his face. There's a Bone Lee. From what I understand, Bone Lee is what I need to get my ninja set up. So, bad ghost. So I've kind of been focusing on going after him a lot. Oh shit, there's two of them. Gonna pop a heal. Like, pretty much the only, like, Bone Lee you cannot fight because he moves so fast and he's so... He hits hard. He doesn't hit very hard, but he does hit hard. So because he's so fast and strong, it's pretty much required that... Yeah, as you can see there, fighting him with that, he teleports every time it hits him, so he's only getting hit for a few. Which makes him very dangerous if you're using the wrong weapon. Like, if you're using a lot of fast, weak weapons, he will destroy you without giving thought. Okay, here's Black Belt. The Black Belt will allow me to dodge, or it gives a chance to dodge. If you remember dodge from my Titan armor, the Titan armor dodge buff looked like there were 3 of me. I haven't checked out the Black Belt's buff yet, but I'm guessing it's to the same effect. Haven't found a paladin yet, and that's a little bit discerning. It's also a little bit hopeful because, plain and simple, the paladin's been wrecking me. Like, I've yet to fight a paladin and win. So... as you can tell from the Spectre armor, it is very powerful for when using magic. If it wasn't for the fact that my light discs provided, well, light, as you can see I get them out there and they provide light, I'd probably be swapping them out for something closer to the effects of the Venom Rod I had. I've actually kind of been considering replacing my rope with the Venom Rod. Just so I have that shotgun-like magic spell. And also, sitting up here at the top and raining down shotgun shells on people, slightly more effective than it looks. But as you can tell, ooh, that is nice. I think I just picked up a Keyblade. Does that make me Sora? Okay, Keyblade. 60 damage, which makes it a nice weapon. It's increased size, increased damage, and it swings like a key. Gonna put that there so I can try it out a little bit. Now, my armor's not built for melee damage, it's built for, wow, there's a trap there. My armor's has magic damage by design, so give me a second. So I'm gonna try to get against a weaker enemy before I swing my Keyblade at him. Like that topless one. He's still an armored skeleton, but he's weaker because he's wearing less armor. So as you can see, I'm doing about 50 damage to him, which is nice. With my Shroom Spear, I do more, but yeah, it's nice. I'm gonna get died. So close that door for now. I don't see any escape, so I'm going to just be out. Okay. Actually, and this was a good time to do that because I'm pretty much next to nighttime. Huh, let's see here. Gonna get a gold. Not gonna put any of that stuff in here. But I am gonna get my buffs out. And I'll put my Keyblade in here just because. I believe it's nighttime now, so I'm gonna come down here and summon him. Yes. As you can see, Destroyer, giant big worm. If you knock out or damage each of these segments, instead of splitting like the Eater of Worlds would, he actually will just like drop some magic laser beam shooting eyes. You will see those very soon. Let me buff up real quick because I'm an idiot and keep forgetting. As you can see, these are the probes. His probes shoot laser beams, but it is beneficial to take out the probes. They drop hearts, which makes them very good for your health. And I probably should have kept the Keyblade just because of the type of damage it does. Okay, I'm gonna pull out my magnetic weapon, or my magnetic sphere, and use it because I'm an idiot and I keep shooting at him with a shotgun and throwing rope at him for some reason. Okay, as I was saying, it's beneficial to take those out because each segment that doesn't have a probe inside of it cannot shoot you with its lasers. I know that sounds like his lasers aren't doing a lot. I mean, they're doing like 20 damage, and every time I hit him, well, I'm getting back that much. Like, I'm getting back like 3 times that much every magnetic sphere. But at the same time, not getting hit is better than getting hit for a negative amount. Or getting hit, yeah. That would make sense. That was a proper sentence. Anyway, well, I think my grammatical errors. Yeah, so getting hit is worse than not getting hit, or is better than getting hit, but healing it is better than getting hit normally, but not getting hit at all is always best. Okay, as you can see, I've knocked him down a lot. He's down to 20k. He starts at 60,000, but the most important thing to remember about him is, well, plain and simple, you do not want him to be able to, you do not want him to die underground. So you want to know where his head is when you kill him. That is very important, and it does make it tricky. The first time I killed him, I'll show you where the loot was, and that will kind of show my point. Another thing, the Wraith can't get into my monster arena. I believe that's because of the rope. I'm not exactly sure though. The torch, like if I go up to a house, the torches don't stop. Like torches inside the house don't stop him from getting in. The walls and the bricks don't stop him from getting in. So I think it has to be the ropes that are stopping him from getting in, because the ropes are in the same dimension that he's in, that like third of a dimension, that they're there but they're not there, but they still are there. Okay, now that he's down on so much health, I'm going to start only going at him with the spear. Another thing you can see that I've done is I've put a fireplace there, just so that, hey, I have that fireplace. Okay, just killed him. I'm really hoping I didn't just accidentally kill him too late or too early. So we're gonna go searching here. Luckily enough, this is where we can see it from the surface. So I'm just gonna go after that. I'm just gonna dig a hole and throw that out. Okay. Probably should have kept the Keyblade because the Keyblade is designed for things like that. Like it is a over-the-top broadsword compared to the spear, which just pokes. The spear didn't do bad, but yeah. The first time I killed him, this is where his loot was, like right up in here. As you can see, this is kind of problematic. You cannot see it from the surface. Like, I was begging. Like, I'm like sitting there like begging myself to find it. Because if you log off, you lose anything that's loose in the world. So the bars and all that stuff would have been gone if I would have logged off. So yeah. Let's see. Now let's go back to the base. Yeah. I believe I have enough now, so I'm going to try that. If I don't have enough, well, you'll see it, and we'll talk about how dumb I am and how bad I am at math. So, we're going to go melee head just because it's what we've stayed with. Hey, we can even make a second helmet. Hollowed gear, I believe, should be right behind titanium. So we're gonna put it there. I'm gonna check this and I'll move it later if it's wrong. But it looks nice. I'm not gonna wear it, but it looks nice. And as with every time in the past, we can check the guide. Here, guide. And Souls of Might, used for the Mega Shark. The Mega Shark is an improvement of the Mini Shark, has a chance to consume ammo, like it lowers the chance to consume ammo. And yeah, it does a lot of damage. It's a very powerful ranged weapon. And the light discs, which are already made. So, and now we will just put everything back here. And there should be one more soul type, which comes from the eyes, which I will probably actually be doing in the next video. So keep your hopes up for that. But before then, I'm going to go over to the Keyblade, put that in mind. I'm just going to start doing a little bit of maintenance. As you can see, I already have the black belt. I've beaten a ninja shirt. I wish I could have recorded that. In one of my other worlds, like when I was doing some farming, just a random chance the King Slime spawned. Which, well, it's random chance to happen. So I wasn't expecting it, so I didn't have the recorder up and ready. I do apologize for that. But it wasn't anything spectacular. I have like, if I was a lower level, it would have been worth the view, but I'm not, so it wasn't. Honestly, it was kind of sad. One more thing before I go. As you can see here, I've been from either side. The dungeon, I have this little house with the honey. And near the jungle, I have, let's see, where's the jungle? I have this little house over here. This is a weird place to have my house. I'm gonna have to work on it because I keep getting the plants that travel through blocks coming and biting me while I'm in my house. So I'm gonna have to do something about that, but this is where I'm going to do it because it's next to the well, it's next to the pyramid, the underground pyramid, and it has these Plantera bulbs near it. It's in the middle of the jungle, so there are Plantera bulbs. Plantera bulbs are... I'm trying to think of a way to say them. Plantera bulbs are... Well, they summon Plantera, and Plantera is, I believe, the hardest boss in hard mode currently. But we'll have to find out a little later about that. If you notice, I have trees here. They look like trees, but this is actually dirt. What I'm planning on doing is going through and digging kind of a elevator style from here down. And I'm just gonna scroll out a little bit so I can try to show you where that I'm planning on bringing that. It's like I'm wanting to just come all the way down here because it comes right to about my house. The reason for that is because Plantera, the best way to fight Plantera, supposedly, is to go up to the surface and to have like a sky bridge right around here so that you can fight Plantera. Like, Plantera will be on the ground trying to reach you, and you just sit there and like start shooting at her from the floor. So yeah. It seems like a good idea, so I'm gonna try it. While we were here, a couple of things I picked up. I picked up Magic Missile. It's pretty simple. At the time, it would have been powerful. Like, early game, it's powerful. You get that in the dungeon the first time. Picked up this. It's basically a flamethrower. I think you were there when I picked it up. The same with the Fire Flower. Trying to remember things that I've had. I'm probably going to get rid of that because I have a better one. It's terrible, but it has much better axe power and much better, and it has hammer power. Let's see here. I'm trying to think of things that I've gotten since last time that y'all might be interested in. Again, I've picked up some black belts. Yeah, apparently I haven't been doing all that much. I got the Climinator. This just completely destroys and builds biomes if you put the right thing in it. I have access to 2 of them at the moment, so I'll show you those in just a second. I can go to the Steampunker, and she will sell the color solution for the biome she's currently in. So currently, she sells the green solution, which will create purity, which is green. It's just the simple forest. And this guy will sell dark blue solution, which creates mushroom. So if, like, say, since I already have one, I'll pull it out and put in, let's put in some green. They're not exactly expensive. I'll run over here because there's some hollowed over here. Okay, see this hollow? I can just take this and go, well, bam, and it will, in a line, take out everything. So if I go down, like you can see these rocks over here, let me move that down. These are rocks, not hollowed rocks or anything like that. Of course, it would take a lot of those to do it, but the weapon is kind of a flamethrower style. So if, like, let's say, shop, I'm just going to pick up a couple of these. I can shoot it off like a flamethrower, and it will take out a bunch. Actually, I haven't tried if this will completely convert. So, okay, apparently it won't change things that aren't capable of holding it, but in theory, underneath there, any mud that's touched, in however long that is, should now be converted into mushroom. I'm not going to go down there and check, but I was just kind of showing you the fire pattern for it. So, another thing I should show you, before I forget, these are my wings. I'm currently wearing butterfly wings. Actually, let me pull out some more. Pull out these wings real quick. Come on. There we go. The reason I'm wearing butterfly wings, let's do this. As you see the butterfly wings, they kind of give a little bit of sparkle, and when you fall, they give sparkles. If I swap out fairy wings, they give sparkles when you go up, but it's not constant. They just kind of twinkle every once in a while. So it's basically the same as butterfly wings, just without as many sparkles. The jetpack is nice. It doesn't quite get you quite as far as a wings, but it's a negligible difference. But as you can see here, every time you go up, it has the jetpack sparking, and when you go down, the jetpack's constantly going, which I do like, although I don't really like the sound effect. Another thing I like about the jetpack is your simple jumps even still have the jetpack up a bit thing. It's a nice little bit of thing. It's a nice little bit of fling. You remember the harpy wings just go up and drop. And the other ones I got were ghost wings. You get these from ectoplasm. They're kind of the same. They actually look a lot like angel wings, but as you can tell, as I go past the background, you can kind of see the background through them. Skip back up here, you can kind of tell the changing of the background behind them a little bit. Yeah, so that's what those are. Let me deposit these. Gotta make sure not to destroy them. I have a problem of shift clicking to put things into chests and destroying them. And some of those it wouldn't be so much of a problem, but like the ghost wings, I destroy those, no big deal. I have enough ectoplasm to replace them a couple times over. But the fairy wings are 100 pixie dust, so like 100 of those, and that's only 2 right there. The harpy wings take a giant feather, which I've only gotten 1 drop. The butterfly wings take a butterfly dust, which I've only dropped once. I don't even know what dropped it. I just was going through my inventory and be like, hey, I got butterfly dust. There are a few other ones. There are bee wings. There's the wings of day and night, or the angel and demon wings, which I will be making, just not yet, because they are, in my opinion, the lamest looking wings. They just don't have anything special about them. They kind of look good with certain armors, but they don't look all that special, in my opinion. Okay, as you can see, I've just replaced the light bulbs with my staff, so I now have my shoot it up, and now I have my shotgun of magic, which is nice because, again, I'm wearing magical armor. Also, it's kind of nice because, as you can see, I could use that to mow the grass, but this does not actually damage grass or things. It is a slight inconvenience, but as you can see, let's see if I can find someone. That wasn't an enemy, apparently. Apparently shooting birds is not advisable according to my armor. And when your armor talks to you, you know it's right, because it's totally not a voice inside your head, it's your armor. Okay, find that. Come on. Here, Pixie. How am I supposed to shoot you if you dodge me? As you can see, shooting the Pixie, I do get healed, the same as I did with the magnet sphere. So, it is nice, and the ability to, come on, see if I can get a couple of them. Well, this should work. Like, the ability to multi-hit is nice, because, as I said before, the magnetic sphere actually doesn't have the ability to multi-hit, although it does have a kind of minigun sentry effect. So if it can kill one, it will take out more. It's kind of one of those differences that is situational. It's like, yeah, if you have a bunch of small enemies, magnetic sphere works perfectly. At the same time, the manic poison staff, you could probably take them all out in one shot. At the same time, if you have a bunch of big enemies, the magnetic sphere, not really as worth it, because it takes a while to kill. It can take a while to kill some big enemies, and every shot that it shoots at another enemy is not being shot at the current enemy. I know that sounds stupid to say, but it does take a little bit of saying. I'm trying to find something a little bit bigger without having to go underground. So let's see if we can piss off some corruptors. Which is really weird, because you really expect to see them, like, all the time. Huh. I wonder if they, like, maybe they got a restraining order against me? Like, I was beating them up too much or something? That'd make me sad. Like, I don't want a restraining order against me. That's so much paperwork. I gotta make sure I can't be within X amount of space. Like, I can't get a job that's within X amount of feet of their job or residence. That's just annoying. Well, apparently I'm not finding anything big, so my point might be mute until I can get to a place with bigger enemies. Would it be mute or moot? I mean, mute means it has no volume, and if I can't show demonstration, then my objection would or my opinion would have no volume due to the fact of no example. But at the same time, it could be mute, because mute would mean that it has no purpose or meaning, and it would also have no purpose or meaning without having example. So I guess maybe both terms would be applicable there? Okay. As you can see, simple bad guys, I can pretty much just two-shot it with either of them. Manic Staff, or the Manic Staff costs less, but because of the stick-around ability of the magnet, it is a little bit better for taking out singular enemies, because it will multi-shot them, whereas the Manic Staff will only single shots. See if I can get some enemies to show that. But if I remember right, the Manic Staff can multi-hit. It is kind of like the shotgun of magic spells. So there is that. It's kind of one of those if, ors, ands, and withs. Here's the Paladin. Let's try to fight the Paladin. Paladin hammers are bad news for you because, as you can see, they tear you apart. Paladin starts with 5,000 health. Okay, you could see pretty much what I was saying. Having a second magic spell because I have magic armor isn't a bad thing, although I probably should look into getting better spells. Yeah. Anyway, sorry, I'm a little bit out of practice. It's been a few days. I'm kind of feeling a little nervous about doing this. So let me check my time real quick. Okay, it's been about an hour. I'm gonna go ahead and end this recording, and I'll be back in, say, 20 seconds? If I'm not back in 20 seconds, well, you can't sue me, because I'm not gonna let you sue me. That's just wrong. Let's see, actually, get here, point blank. Apparently you can't multi-hit with it like the shotgun. There's just multiple of them that go through them and hit multiple enemies. So again, the poison spell is nice, but it isn't an end spell. Whereas the magnetic sphere, from what I've seen, is kind of an in-game spell. It's one of those ones that I will probably be using for time to come. Anyhow, as I was saying, I'll be back in a few seconds. You can time me. Internet speeds and computer processing will have differences, but I promise I will start my next recording within 20 seconds of this recording starting, or ending. So, yeah. Also, another thing, kind of cool, up and down, actually your W and S will control your sphere. So I can make it move below me or above me. Doesn't really have that much to do with anything, but it is kind of a little nice to know. Anyhow,